Good morning. Today we're talking with John Joyner, who is a computer programmer in Atascadero, California. Good morning, John. How are you doing?
Good morning. Very well, thank you.
Great. So tell us your story about becoming a computer programmer and the path you took to get in this vocation.
I took quite a path. When I got out of college, I taught high school first and then substituted in schools and got into adult education and finally ended up working for 10 years for a company that developed instructional materials. And it wasn't until after that, when I was in my 40s, that I started computer programming.
So was there some key moment or something that said, aha, this is the way I want to go?
It built up over a long time. I became interested in computers in the 8th grade when we were told how they worked. And for years and years when I was working for the research company, I was interested in computers and read computer magazines, and I eventually got into writing computer documentation, all before I actually started programming.
Okay.
So it was a gradual increase.
And what year did you get your first computer, approximately?
It was in the 80s when the IBM PC personal computer came out.
Okay. And how many years have you been in this vocation of computer programming?
About 25 years now.
And what's the favorite thing you do in your job of computer programming?
Well, the best part for me is meeting with a customer and understanding what their need is, such as an inventory program, and then figuring out how to give them what they want, how to design the program. After I've designed it and figured out how to solve all the problems, I do have to implement it, but the most fun part is in the design.
Great. And if I wanted to become a computer programmer, what steps should I take to be headed in the right direction?
Fortunately today, with personal computers so available, you can just start programming. You can go on the web and find out instructions for programming. You can buy books about various languages. I do a great deal of book reading. Other people like to do more hands-on programming to learn things.
And are there entry-level positions that might give me a feel for computer programming or maybe other computer-related jobs?
Other than an introductory programming position itself, I think if you got a job in a company, especially a technology company, but not only, where you had to use computers and do data entry or write about computers, those would be ways to get your foot in the door, and then you could get to know the programmers. Take them to lunch and tell them you want to be one too.
And while I'm in high school, are there any specific courses that would help me, obviously other than directly computer training?
Well, everyone mentions mathematics when it comes to computers. Now, you don't have to be a calculus whiz to do programming by any means, but you should be reasonably good in math. But something often overlooked is your writing skills. A programmer is expected to document the work, and it might even start, as I did, with writing technical manuals. So
Yeah.
Reading and writing are important.
And in this year, 2014, is this a valuable position to look towards as a career or a vocation?
Yes, I think we can be fairly certain that in this day and age, computer programming is not going away anytime soon.
Probably not. And with basic training in computer programming, what other types of jobs might that lead to? What other types of positions?
Other than general technical positions, the jobs I think of, or the roles I think you might take, would be management, because programming is done in teams usually, and there's going to be a team leader. So you might be a leader of 5 programmers and then go on from there to manage more and more people. So you might end up being executive vice president of the company. But also sales is another area I think of, if you find yourself interested in that.
Great. And I understand you currently are doing websites as well?
I wrote my own program to create websites, so I can make a website faster than a person using the more typical methods. So I do small websites for small businesses and independent people.
Great. Well, I appreciate you taking the time today to talk to us about computer programming and website building, and really appreciate it and hope that this is valuable to everybody.
My pleasure.